So we were invited to this project by Yannick Doby and Tsai Wen-Shen, and we discussed the importance of the works not dominating the site that they're on, the sounds of the site. So my work you encounter at the end of the walk that you would take through the various artists, sound artists' work. And you're standing in a shelter overlooking an open plain. So we can hear behind us the sounds of Ma Dou City, and in front of us some echoing sounds from a kind of road and some activity from farmers and other things on the other side of the river. But it occurred to me when I was standing there in the shelter looking out that the distance is so wide and great that our perception is a little bit unreliable. I find it very hard to judge the distances that I'm looking at. And the same goes for the sound. When we're standing there, we hear sounds, but it's not really clear the direction they're coming from or what's causing even some of the sounds. So I wanted to work with this idea of slippery perception, and the title of the work is Distance of the Mind's Ear, and it's kind of a play from the idea of mind's eye, but essentially looking at our perception of our experience of things. I want to focus people's attention to listening on the site by placing sounds into the landscape so that you're kind of drawn into a listening experience that you might not otherwise engage in. So when we hear a sound from the work, it sounds like it almost could be coming from the landscape, but perhaps it's just a little bit strange, you know, a passing temple procession or something, but you're looking out at a river landscape. But the acoustics of the sounds sound like it really could be coming from that space. So we hear something and it draws us in to listen more closely. And so hopefully through doing that, having these sounds happen in Ma Dou, if you're from Ma Dou, for example, there's a lot of people who use the path that goes past the site for exercise. So they might just happen upon the work by chance. And these are people who've probably spent, or perhaps spent their whole life in Ma Dou. They're very familiar with the sound of Ma Dou, but maybe you don't often take the time to really listen and reflect. So by encountering sounds by chance, you're drawn to spend more time listening to the sounds that actually happen in Ma Dou.